Hi, thanks for checking out the channel. We're going to show you how we change out these fuse holders on the Cyclops units. On at least the AC version, seem like they have more trouble with those than they do the 12-volt ones. The complaint with the customer was, well, the board was bad. We fixed the board, and I made a video on that. I'll put a link down below if you want to watch that. But he said those little ears on it, this thing's only like a year and a half old. He said it's hard to keep that fuse holder in place. See, I'm just twisting on it, and it doesn't want to lock in. Push it, and it doesn't want to lock. And the reason for that is these little ears on here will bend down or break off or whatever, burn up. And I don't like the fuse holders. And this thing's like, it's a 2023, early 23 model. So, and it's already got problems with the fuse holder. I asked him if the fuse blows that often. He's like, no. He said, I've had it for about a year and a half, 2 years, and it's blown by 4 times on me. I said, from storms? Like, no. I went to a couple of them could have been. He said, but the other times, he said, no, there was no storms. I came up the next day and it was not running. Changed the fuse out and went running again. So, I don't know. Don't like the fuse holders on them to start with, and told Cyclops about it about 5, 6, 7 years ago. And this thing's got the same ones on there. I can tell that from what they were 5, 6, 7 years ago. But I think of all the warranty things that a company supply or states on their stuff, fuse holders on Cyclops are not covered by their warranty. This is out of warranty. It's less than 2 years old, but they don't have a 1-year warranty right out of the box. And the customer did not buy the extended warranty on it. So now it costs them a little money to get it going. Not like an arm or a leg, but it costs a little bit. It's not gonna be free. Can't work for free. Alright, fuse holders, trying to find them here. I usually got them in a little bag up here, but I don't see them. Let me go look one other place for them. Okay, this is the kind I use. It's a threaded cap type, so you got to turn this cap off. Don't need to worry about the stupid little ears. You put the fuse in there, which same size fuse size will physically fit in there. Slide it in there, get it kind of lined up, and kind of feel it grab, and then you just push it in, tighten it up. Now, these aren't just a plug-and-play deal. We have to make the hole bigger on the side of the case. So I use a stepper bit, what I use. So I just go in there, I drill even hole, but you can't make just a perfectly round hole, because if once you start tightening up that nut on the inside, the whole fuse holder wants to turn. And these are physically bigger around, so it only goes in so far, and the threaded part right there starts to hit the plastic and won't go all the way in. And if you look at these fuse holders, it has a flat edge there too on both sides. So what that's for is you make the hole kind of oblong, so as you tighten it up, if it does turn, it's going to hit the case and it'll stop turning. And so the case is basically your hand help hold that thing in place. I've done it where I've made the hole perfectly round at the right side, put in there, and then the whole thing wants to spin, so I start holding it with a pair of pliers on the outside or inside, and it's plastic, can't squeeze too hard, and I've broken those, cracked and broken one of these before. So I usually use my stepper bit. Once I get the hole made a little bit bigger, I use like a saw blade and I start cutting on it. Not quite there yet. Plastic's not super strong plastic. You see, it's kind of making it oblong. Trying to see where I'm at. Oh, a little bit on the side there, and it take off. I think it'll be good. There it goes. Alright, so now we'll take this nut off here. Last one had a plastic nut, this has got a metal one. I don't think it makes a difference, but at least it's metal versus plastic. Alright. Where's that from? Alright, so now we'll take the nut here. Backwards. It's kind of shaped a certain way where it wants to go this way. Come on. Alright, so now power cord, since it's going to be a little too big, a plug to put on there. I just solder the wires on versus, because these spade connectors are just a little too right size, and I've got smaller spade connectors I can put on there, but they still don't fit on there just quite right, and they don't hold. I mean, they hold, but it'd be my luck, it'll bounce around in shipping and come unplugged. And the customer's like, hey, you got the unit back you fixed, but it ain't running. And it's because one of the wires came unplugged on the inside. So just to lessen that chance of it happening, I hardwire and solder the wires on. And then we're good to go. And I'm going to add a little solder to each one of these tabs. Come on. Oops. Come on. Come on. Okay, so power cord. Black wire is going to go here to the back side of the fuse. Let that cool down and harden up. Don't like that. Okay. Cool down and harden up. That looks good. Alright, so the unit was working before we did this because I fixed it in the previous video. Let's plug it in. Still working. Alright. So now we need to change out this one. He said he's never had trouble with, but he said if you're going to replace the one, replace them both. So Sure enough, balls. So we're going to do that. Don't even plug all the wires, just most of these ones on the upper part of this board. Because we're going to have to pull this board out of the way. And you can only pull it so far when all the wires are plugged in. Come on. And then screwdriver. So set it to the side there. Now I'm going to have to go find me another fuse holder. Only in my box where I saw the one at, that's the only one I had in. I've got a little baggie here somewhere with a bunch of them. I've got 10 of them in a bag somewhere. Not those. So, but we'll get there in a minute. So I'm going to pull this wire off. And these wires are, this wire, yeah, we'll reuse that wire. No, we'll reuse that wire. But this one needs to go away. And it's got this heat shrink on the back side. Just gonna hopefully snip it off. Come on. Alright, now let me pause the video for a moment while I find me another fuse holder. Alright. Found them. So pull the washer off, or the nut. I'm going to go ahead and put the old fuse. No, it's not old, it's the good fuse. Go ahead and put it in the little cap there. Because there's a spring down inside that keeps pressure so that everything stays in place and contact. So you kind of get it in there, you see it push a little bit and then start twisting and turning. You'll kind of feel it grab. If it cross threads, don't keep forcing it. Undo it and try it again. You don't want to get it crossed because then you'll mess the threads up. I had people do that before. Alright, so move those. No, I can keep those there. Alright. Perfect hole, and we'll if you want to do this yourself, but you're not any good at soldering or whatever, and you want the fuse holders, call me. I'll sell you some fuse holders. I'll solder some wires on there. I'll make them long. I'll make them extra long, and then you can just splice them into these wires up here. And like I said, we're going to solder wires on the back side of this fuse holder, and I'll make them a little longer. And then when I get the board reinstalled on top here, I'm going to cut them the length and crimp on the spade connectors. So that's, we could do the same thing for you. We'll just, if you want some better quality made ones, because I don't know what they're selling for these factory ones are like $7-8, something like that. They're not like super expensive, but this thing's a year and a half, 2 years old, and he's already having trouble with that fuse over there. Okay, so now let's get some of this wire here. Wire strippers. Now, I've had these wire strippers for about 10 years now. I bought them from Harbor Freight. They were the whatever brand this is. I've had them for 10, 11 years now, and not one. I mean, the spring comes off there once in a while, where like that. And then, of course, when the spring, but as long as you don't lose the spring, put that back in there, and it's spring load again. But I've never had any issues with that, and it was like $7. I think they're like $9, $10 now, but everything's gone up in the last 10 years. But Harbor Freight we used to go to a different town. We don't live there anymore, and it's about an hour drive to get over there. I'm not going to go there just for a little tool here and there. So luckily I haven't had to buy any. So and I use those wire strippers daily, weekly for sure. For the last 10 years I haven't had any issues with it. Alright, so now two up together. Alright, like I said, I'm going to cut them kind of long because it's going to go up and over, you know, like that basically. It's a little hot. So come up over here, up and over. That should be long enough. Okay, now I take this board, screws for it. Get it lined up where it needs to go. Okay, now I can put these wires back where they go. Let's see, it's labeled on there. Hard to frickin' read what's on there. Man. See if I can use my camera and zoom in and see if I can read it better. Fuse. Lots of green wires. That's fence. So that's that one. Couldn't frickin' read it. Alright, so this is the transformer wire connection over here. I'm not able to read this. I can't read it. Well, I guess it doesn't matter because electrically those two, all three of these points are in the same spot. So I guess electrically it doesn't really matter. But we'll put that one right there. Put that one right there. Okay. Okay, so now start trimming this up. A couple of I use the red fully insulated female spec connectors on this one. And I like the fully insulated ones, either the red or the blue, or I guess the yellow if you got a real large gauge. These work really well. This one, okay. Alright, there's a bunch of shavings in here from me drilling on it. I don't know my can of air is, that's why I'm using my hot air in my breath. Alright, let's plug it back in, make sure the light still flashes. Still flashing. Alright. Well, this one's good to go. And test the output, I guess, but as long as the light's flashing every single time. It's only a year and a half old, 2 years old. Transformers hardly go bad that quick. Alright, there we go, Cyclops Brute. This one's done, we're on to another one. Till next time, see you guys later on.